Well, with me now is the DUP Deputy Leader, Nigel Dodds. Thanks very much for coming in. Was Peter Robinson right to go to the match?
Well, of course he was, absolutely. Peter has demonstrated, I think, remarkable gifts of leadership as First Minister and as leader of the DUP. And once again, he's demonstrating that leadership, living up to what he said he would do in his party conference speech. And I think it's a very positive move indeed.
How significant do you think it is, though, in the wider political sense?
Well, I think it's part of Northern Ireland moving forward. It doesn't in any way compromise Peter Robinson's political principles or the principles of the DUP, but it demonstrates and sends a very strong message and signal to people that we are moving forward in Northern Ireland, moving forward together as much as possible. Of course, there are political differences. It doesn't alter the fact that we in the DUP want to see Northern Ireland part of the United Kingdom. Martin McGuinness and Sinn Féin want to move to a United Ireland, but we are agreed that we must move forward. Given that the constitutional position is now settled, it will be for the people to decide, and we must work together for the good of the people on jobs, employment, the health service and all the rest of it.
Is there unity in the DUP about him attending, though?
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that. And I think that one of the traits of the Democratic Unionist Party has been in broadening our appeal and broadening our base and increasing our membership and increasing our vote. We have brought people along with us, and the Democratic Unionist Party, I dare say, is one of the most united parties, not only in Northern Ireland, but in the United Kingdom as a whole. When I go to Westminster and look at what goes on there and reflect on what's happening in our party, we're a very strong, united party.
So Peter Robinson said in that interview there that he hasn't changed, but things have changed. This is inconceivable that this would have ever happened, even 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Well, I think a lot of things that people thought were inconceivable have happened in Northern Ireland because politicians and the community and civic society has recognised that we need to move Northern Ireland forward. And for the good of all of our people, we are now accepted that the constitutional position is settled, in my view, and some of the wild statements of the implications, for instance, of Scottish independence, I don't recognise and don't support, because I believe that Northern Ireland's position is secure within the United Kingdom. We have agreed arrangements of Stormont and elsewhere which allows political participation according to political strength, and that is what people want. They don't want to go back to the violence. They don't want to go back to the days of destruction. They want to move forward, and that is why you saw the coming together of society very, very strongly with the despicable murder of Constable Ronan Kerr and other recent events where people have said we don't want this to happen and we want the political process to continue to move forward.
So were you wrong in the past to take the never, never stance? And is your political support growing because you have become softer in your approach?
No, I think we were right to say never, never to United Ireland. That is our position. We believe that Northern Ireland's position is stronger within the United Kingdom, and that's what we were saying about never. But what we want to do is to work forward, work together for the good of Northern Ireland. We were always a pro-devolution party when many other parties in the Unionist camp wanted to move towards greater integration. So we always believed that there was a role for local politicians working together. Now, the Belfast Agreement in 1998, we believe, had many flaws. We believe that it didn't force the Republican movement to support the police, the rule of law and the courts. We ensured that that happened. I remember Tony Blair telling me in the House of Commons that we could never achieve that. We did achieve that. And as a result of that, we now have a firm base on which to move forward, which provides stability and progress. And I think that the Democratic Unionist Party is facing up to the challenges of Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland faces us. We're attempting to work with others, even other unionists, and I mean, I'm amazed to hear some other unionists talk about wanting greater opposition to the DUP. I would have thought that we want to work together as much as possible. And comments like, well, other unionists see us as not intellectually, morally or ethically the equivalent of them. It goes back to the old days in some Ulster Unionist circles of it's only decent people that vote Ulster Unionist, a slur on everybody else. And I think that people reject that kind of approach and they want to see politicians working together.
Well, we've heard the problems in the Ulster Unionist Party. Were you involved in those talks?
Well, not in the talks in the Ulster Unionist Party, certainly, but in terms of
the talks about cooperation between the DUP.
What I would say is that the Democratic Unionist Party has always taken the approach that we want to see greater cooperation. There are talks at assembly level in terms of the involvement of the Ulster Unionist minister with our ministers. I'm not going to go into the details of discussions because whilst
But you were at them.
they're not secret, but they are private, and it would be remiss of me to start talking about the content or who was at them and who wasn't at them without the full acquiescence and support of others who were there. But what I would say is we are determined to try to work together. That's what Unionist people want. That's what people indeed right across communities want. They want to see parties of different perspectives working together. And I think it's strange when you hear people coming on or briefing the press, as we have had some in the Ulster Unionist Party, saying, no, we want more opposition. We want more opposition for opposition's sake, putting party before country, putting party before the people. And I think that's not what people want in Northern Ireland.
Well, can
today.
you see one Unionist Party in the future?
Well, I think that what we want to try and do is work together, first of all. What happens in the future will happen.
So electoral pacts in the meantime?
I don't think we can prescribe what's going to happen, but there is a mood out there generally in the political community, in the communities at large in Northern Ireland, for parties to work together. And it would be very strange if we could work together in the executive with parties that have a fundamentally different political outlook, that we could do that. On the other hand, that we couldn't work more closely together as unionist parties where we have so much in common at membership level and among our support base.
Is there a place then for David McNary in your party, should he want it?
Well, we have had many people join our party, and there's always a welcome to those who wish to come and join us, who subscribe to the views and principles of the Democratic Unionist Party. But that is entirely a matter for David McNary and for others out there. But I think if people want to join a progressive party that is looking to the best future of Northern Ireland, bringing people together and working together with others, then the Democratic Unionist Party is the natural home for those unionists.
Nigel Dodds, thanks for joining us today.